Friday Sews. Meet my little doggy today. And a special welcome to any new subscribers. And I wanted to say a couple of thank yous. One is to Kirsten from the Dahlia Society here in Australia, and she mentioned my channel in one of her recent vlogs. And hi Kristen, and some of you I've met since then, so welcome, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. The other person I wanted to mention is Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. Now Jen is the person who started off the hashtag Friday Sews, and Jen, I see that recently in America some of you Friday Sews people have got together, and that looks like so much fun. I'd love to do that. So, such a long way to go. There's a few of us in Australia doing it now, so ideally we maybe in the future we'll get together and catch up, so that'll be fun. So thank you, Jen. It's a great hashtag for us to all link up and stay connected. So thank you. And each week when I talk about Friday Sews, that's who it is that started it all. This is Tiffy, her full name Tiffany. She's a rescue, and I've had her for 4 years now. She's a toy poodle, aren't you, darling? And she's blind. Poor darling, and she's very old. She's 16 now, but she loves her walks. She's got a few health issues. She's got a bad back. She's very arched, and she's very delicate, aren't you? Very delicate little thing. And yeah, she just loves her walks in the mornings, and she likes special food that you know, I have to make, and then I have to read her mind of what she feels like today. Is your little doggy like that, your fur baby? Or maybe your cat? Yeah, they're fun, aren't they? Are you good company, aren't you, darling? Are you having fun? Yeah, good girl. Good girl. So she's a real little cutie, little Tiffy. Anyway, so there she is. So sometimes she might pop in, but mostly she sleeps in her bed most of the time now. Right, so talking about the Lyra dress. So the Lyra dress from Tilly and the Buttons. So I cut the pattern out from the, you know, drafted the pattern, and I went with the, no, I didn't go with the full bust measurement. I went with my upper bust measurement, because what I've found is this happens a lot. If I go with the full bust measurement, I get this blousing effect at the front. And what I've discovered is that if I go with the upper bust, so that's under the arm measurement across, around, and take that as my size, and then do a full bust adjustment. So that's actually what I've done. I might have a picture of it, but otherwise I've got this. I've done a full bust adjustment with lots of different grids and lines and calculators and maths and rulers and pencils and rubbers. So so that's the bodice front that I've had to adjust. And I've done 2 toiles. So that's what this is here. The first one, I put on her, and well, I tried it on and tried to pin it together, and it was extremely tight across the bust and was fitting okay at the top. So I knew I had the right general size, and that's when I did the full bust adjustment. And I also realized I had to unpick the shoulder seam just on this to reposition it, because what I've done is a forward shoulder adjustment as well. So I've brought the shoulder seam forward by 2 centimeters, so it was a fair bit, and now that's sitting beautifully on the shoulders. So this is my second toile. So this has got the full bust adjustment already on it. It's got the forward shoulder seam change, and I just did the one sleeve, inserted one sleeve in this one because I actually ran out of the fabric, and I'd already inserted 2 sleeves on this one, and yeah, it was getting a bit much. So I inserted just the one sleeve and made sure there's plenty of movement. Oh, the other mistake I made in the first toile, on the back pattern piece, I had cut it wrong, and I checked all my cutting, my measurements, like, what's the rule? measure twice and cut once. Well, I did it wrong even on the pattern piece, on the back pattern piece. Anyway, so I'm really pleased I did the toile. And so this second practice garment, practice top, was the correct back piece. Whereas this one was really tight. I thought, oh, what's this all to do with the bust? Anyway, it turned out it wasn't. So there you go. I don't always do a toile. I usually try, well, I end up with wearable toiles quite often, which you've probably seen. You know, I've got dresses made out of sheets and all sorts of things. And I would make this into wearable, but I don't have any more fabric. Because this is really nice. This is cool sheet. This is very kind of 60s or 70s fabric pattern. It's quite in, isn't it? It's quite on trend. So I would make something, a full garment out of it, but I've already done lots of other practices in the past, so I've run out of this fabric now. It's a shame, isn't it? Anyway, so I've put the button placket on and everything. I didn't put any interfacing, and so I've worked out where my buttons will go. I didn't bother to practice with the collar. That I'll work that out as I go. But I'm very happy with the fit now. Now I'm feeling more confident to cut the good fabric out. And thanks for everyone's suggestions and votes, if you like, and comments. A lot of people said they wanted the red. I secretly wanted the red full sleeve. That's quite expensive fabric, so I'm a bit scared to cut into it. So I thought I'd go with this seersucker and with short sleeves, because I've only got 2.5 meters of it. So I've cut this out for short sleeves, just the where's the pattern gone? Just the to the knee length and no ruffle at the bottom. So it takes a lot less fabric. The ruffle takes a lot. So I'm not sure how it will turn out, but I'm really excited to find out what it does turn out. I love starting with a new pattern, and then if I really like it, then I will make more. So it's very popular. Like, I've really noticed on Instagram and other YouTubers, a lot of people have been. I think 2019 or something this pattern came out. So yeah, as I said last time, a bit late to the party, but it's all good. It's happening. So that's going to be great, and an autumn dress. So that's the progress update. That's that one. I also have a podcast I've been listening to, and I may or may not have mentioned this podcast before. Can't remember. It's called the Everyday Style School, and it's Jennifer Mackie Mary. She's the host or hostess of the Everyday Style School, and the episode I was listening to was the most recent one, 10 Wearable Trends for Spring 2023. I know that we're not going into spring, but there was lots of, here in the Southern Hemisphere, but there was lots of suggestions and ideas about what is on trend and what is kind of suitable, and what's happening. Apparently pink, yay, is in, and one of my favourite colours. So that's great. So really great to listen to that, and I recommend that podcast. Really easy listening and lots of info, and Jennifer has great guests that she invites to the podcast. So that's a really good one. Now, I haven't spoken about this for quite some time, but where am I up to with my knitting? So as you recall, I'm knitting a vest for my grandson from this lovely yarn, which I'll show you, which is Fleck, from Bendigo Woollen Mills, Victoria, Australia. So that's the back. Anyway, I've finished the back. Yeah, I finished the back, and I've just pulled, all the stitches were sitting on the, the stitches were sitting on the stitch holder, and I've pulled it out. So I've got some delicate picking up to do there. I'll just put that very carefully. Anyway, where am I up to? Yeah, that's me. I'm a bit clumsy sometimes. So I'm up to the front, and I've made the V. So it's looking good, but guess what? Made a mistake. How unusual. I've made a mistake, and I'm pretty sure this side, is the one I'm working on, is the correct side, because what I've obviously done, I've been too tired or engrossed in, I don't know, Married at First Sight or some show, and this side, the first side, is very short, and I don't think it's going to fit, little fella, so I'm going to have to unpull that side too. So I've got a bit of unraveling to do, but that's okay. That's knitting. There's always some unpulling to do, and then anyway, so I've only got that to finish. It's not much left. Fix that up. Not much left, and then I'll just sew it all together and do the bands. So I might even have that finished. Oh, I don't know, by next week, but pretty soon. We'll see. It's just the beautiful, it's knitting up so beautifully. Might not be able to see it very well there, but oh goodness, that's a beautiful yarn. And such a pretty colour. And it's not showing the true colour there. It's like a bit more rusty looking a bit more orange on the screen. And I will put the information about the name of the colour and everything. It's an 8 ply. So yeah, I'm very pleasant. It feels beautiful and soft. And I started watching season 2 of Netflix show called Next in Fashion. And it's an American show, and the people that are in the competition are, or usually have their own brand already, and they're quite professional sewers. Not extremely well known or anything, but gee, they're great. I love watching that. It's great. And I watched a podcast, sorry, I can't recall who it was that I was watching, a YouTube channel, who they had sit and binge watched the whole series, and that's what encouraged me to do it. And so I'm really enjoying that. So I really love those fashion shows on Netflix and the other streaming channels. So that's really enjoying, and I think that's where I went wrong with my knitting, because I was that engaged with the show that lost track of what I was doing. Oops. I wonder, has this happened to you? There I was, very engrossed. I had the tablet set up in my cutting area, and I was doing an adjustment. I was doing that full bust adjustment. Sorry, on the bodice. Sorry, that's noisy. I was doing that full bust adjustment, following along with someone that has demonstrating it on the YouTube, and concentrating whilst I had something cooking on the stove. Now, I was cooking something in my slow cooker anyway, so in my mind, that's fine, set and forget. However, I had put on a relatively small saucepan full of kale with not much water in there, thinking I'll just pop back in about 3 minutes. Doesn't take long to cook. So fully engrossed in this full bust adjustment, and concentrating and measuring and calculating, and very, very careful. It's very, precise operation that you do. And then I thought, oh, what's that smell? And I go into the kitchen, and oh my goodness, Mel, my giddy aunt, my giddy aunt's been in here. The kitchen was full of smoke, and I thought, wow, I wonder how come the smoke alarm didn't go off. That's, not working. But yeah, the saucepan, I had completely forgotten about it, and I was scared to take the lid off. It was so overcooked. Smoke was pouring out. I mean, I'm just lucky that the kitchen didn't catch fire. What a silly thing to do. Anyway, so I thought, well, I don't even want this smoke. Get the smoke out of my house. It smells. So I took it straight outside and put it far, far away in the far corner of the little back area that I've got. So I've got a little video here, which I'll just stick up here. But I was even scared to take the lid off. And then when I took the lid off, everything was it wasn't just burnt. It was charred. It was charred to actual dust. I thought, really? Oh, no way. And that saucepan, that is a set, and it cost an absolute bomb years ago. And I'm just so careful with it usually, and it doesn't use much water in there when you're cooking, and it's what they call waterless cooking. So you sort of set it and spin the lid, and there's a special thing you do. And anyway, yeah, I hope I haven't ruined it. So I left it and came back to it at the end of the day. And well, I was doing my evening dishes and I thought, actually, I should bring that inside. That might be full of ants by now. And I went out to get it and I thought, you know what? I don't think any self-respecting ant is even going to go near this charred up mess in this saucepan. Anyway, I brought it back inside and I thought, well, I'll use a, disposable, something that I'm going to throw out already, an old tin. And I threw all the scraps in there. And honestly, it completely disintegrated. It was like, completely burnt paper or something. I thought, oh dear. That was, yeah, have you done that? Have you ever ruined that saucepan? And now how am I going to clean that? So I've got it sitting with vinegar and, I've got the mixture in there of it soaking. And I'm just, one day I'll look at it when I get my courage up, and I don't want to scrub the daylights out of it. And I don't think that, it is stainless steel. I think it will come back from this, but oh dear, how many lives do these saucepans have? It's not like a cat has 9 lives. So anyway, I might have to borrow someone's dishwasher. I don't have a dishwasher. I might have to borrow someone's dishwasher on, heavy setting and see if I can get it clean there. Crazy, huh? I hope you've enjoyed watching today, and I shall catch up with you next time. Until then, happy sewing, take good care, stay well, all those things, and keep laughing and having a good time with it all. Bye.